Good afternoon, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Kevin Wesniak. I'm the chairman and operating manager for the Jacksonville Sharks. I want to welcome you to the 2019 National Arena League Championship Media Day. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce the Jacksonville Sharks Director of Multimedia and your host for today, Mr. Steven Shatola.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Used to the players getting a lot of applause, but that was nice. I want to thank everybody for coming. Carolina, welcome to Jacksonville. Very nice hotel. Good to be here. I want to introduce our visiting team, the defending champions, the Carolina Cobras. Welcome back to the championship game. Congratulations on a successful season. To my right is Coach Billy Back, Bill Vaval, Jordan Jolly, and Michael Green. And to my left is our home team, the Jacksonville Sharks, with Coach Sia Burley, wide receiver Devin Wilson, Cody Saul, and Nick Woodman. We're going to be doing a couple things today for Media Day. Obviously, we're going to want to ask some big questions for the big game. We're going to open it up to media, allow our media here to interview all of our panels right here, and also break out at the end to allow anyone to interview any of the players that are here today or any of the coaches that are here today. But first I want to show why we're all here, the trophy, the championship. So without further ado, we're going to reveal the 2019 National Arena League Championship Trophy. This is the first Media Day weekend for a championship that I've worked where both coaches have already claimed one. So it'll be interesting to see which team is hungry for their second. And before we break out and open it up to an open mic with Q&A from everyone here, I want to kind of break the ice and have each coach speak and basically just say what this season has meant to them and what being in this game will be like tomorrow. I'd like to invite the visiting team, Carolina Cobras, to speak first. Coach Billy Back.
Thank you, Steven. It's an honor to be here. To be back in the championship game. The Media Day, I think, it's a pretty awesome deal. You guys put on a good show last year, this year, and the year before. Something we always wanted to be a part of. But I want to congratulate the Jacksonville Sharks on a great year, 13-1. You guys had that hiccup the first game of the season, but there's steamrolling from there. You know, to keep it all together, 14 straight games without having a hiccup, losing to an Orlando team. You know what I mean? That's a testament to your coaching staff and your perseverance as players. So congratulations, great job on the season so far. Cobra players, appreciate you guys, your efforts, everything you've done this year as well, the work you put in, battled through a lot of adversity, ups and downs, injuries, et cetera, but the bottom line is to be here is where we want to be, but we've got one game to go. I want to thank the NAL for allowing this opportunity to do this, our ownerships from both teams. I think it's easy to say that these are the two best teams in the league because they're ran by the two best ownerships in the league. And for us to have this opportunity to be in Jacksonville, we know it's going to be packed. It's going to be a great venue for an event for the game. A lot of fans, a great fan base here. We're excited to be a part of it, and I just want to say thanks and good luck.
Thank you, Coach. Now I'm going to have the head coach of the Jacksonville Sharks come up and speak for a moment.
It's a great honor to be here in the National Championship game. Once again, for us in 2 years, we have some returners. They're coming back for a second one. But definitely want to give our hats off to a great season, great opponent in Carolina. This is obviously their second game in a row, defending the championship right here. So could have been a better stage. You've got Jacksonville and Carolina, the big stage, in the Jacksonville Shark Tank. Okay, it's a great atmosphere there. Best fans, I think, in the whole league. So it's going to be a rocking atmosphere. It's going to be a great stage for a championship game to be held at. Nonetheless, I think our team has been through a lot of adversity this year. We've handled it well, coaching staff to players, in and out the lineup all year. It's definitely hats off to the character we have on our team to be in this championship game. And look forward to representing them as the head coach. On this side, you guys have a great team over here, athletes across the board. It's very difficult to repeat and be in the championship game 2 years in a row. Coach and I were just talking about it. We didn't do that last year. And so for you guys to be back in the situation, hats off to your organization, from top to bottom, coaching staff, to be able to accomplish that feat and represent and defend your championship. So it's just a great honor to be here. It's first-class league. Okay, the talent's gotten better over the last few years. As you can see on the field, players know, coaches know, the talent's definitely grown over the last 3 years. So this is definitely being watched by the whole world, all of arena football in the country, and we're going to put on a great show. So I'm happy to be here.
Thanks, Coach. Next, we're going to break out into an open Q&A for everyone here, media, guests, coaches, players. Anyone's welcome to ask any of the questions. Following that, we're going to break out as well, and you can interview any of the coaches or players that you see here, as well as allow you to take pictures with the trophy. The only request we have is just don't touch the trophy. Let the team that wins tomorrow be the first to make that move. So I guess I'll ask the first question. So I'm going to ask this to Coach Burley, but I'm also going to ask Coach Back. Coach Burley, you've been in this league for a while now, and you've coached against Coach Back. What is your opinion of Coach Back and his Carolina Cobras in 2019?
Obviously, we know each other pretty well the last 2 years. Carolina's always brought, top-notch performance against us, getting the best of us several times. This year, we've been on the side of the coin. Fortunately, it's definitely difficult to beat a team 3 times in a row. Through all our arena experience, everybody knows that. So, my hats off to them and the organization. They're going to bring a physical game, no question. They're a very physically built team, and that's what they pride themselves in. So, we definitely respect the physicality, and they have a lot of veterans over there that make plays. And so, we definitely respect it, and our preparation this week has got to be on point to be able to, hang with a Carolina team. So we're looking forward to it, but we definitely know that Carolina's got a great organization.
Awesome. Coach Back, same question?
Repeat the question. Coach Burley's playing day is one of the best receivers to play this game. And so offensively, you're coming into a battle. It's a lot of plays. It's, for years he's been doing this for a long time. OC and, Arizona with the Rattlers, one of the best teams ever played the game, And so we know defensively we've got our hands full, plus with the talent on the table that the Jacksonville Sharks have, offensively, defensively, and special teams. Those are weapons. It's going to be a physical contest. The defensive line gets after. Let's be honest. It's one of the top ones in this league, in any league. This relentless pressure you guys put on, and secondary cover anybody. And so it's going to be a chess match that comes down to I think turnovers. I think both teams have had good turnover ratios in the season. But Coach Fuller and that defense, I'll tell you, they got something going on that's pretty special. So I think it's going to be a tough game, but we know for a fact that the Jacksonville Sharks are the best team in this league, for record and to play on the field. And so it's going to take a great game for us.
Thanks, Coach. Now I'm going to open up to all of you here, all the media. Anyone who has any questions, just raise your hand. I just asked that the questions that you're asking now are for the people that are up here on this stage. We will break out later and allow you to interview any of the players here and any of the coaches, but right now we want to keep it to the panel. Does anyone want to open up with a question? And if you can, just mention who the question's to.
Yeah, so my question is for both Devin Wilson and Jordan Jolly. So this game features 2 of the best wide receivers in the game. One of you guys led the league in receiving yards this season. The other led the league in touchdowns. My question basically is there a friendly rivalry there, being that you guys are the 2 best wide receivers in the league? And what, in your words, makes you the best receiver for each of you?
Jolly, you want to go first? Whoever answers first is the actual best. So.
Repeat the question again.
Why do you think you're the best?
Well, first off, is there a friendly rivalry going into this game, seeing you two are the best? And in your words, what makes you the best receiver in the NAL?
All right, Jolly, I'm from Nashville, so I'm very familiar with a few of these players from the Nashville Venom and stuff like that. I actually worked out for the Nashville Venom, and they thought I wasn't good enough. So, so with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We both had pretty good seasons. He's done very great things. He has a connection with his quarterback that, I mean, it's bar none. This is my second year and 2 years in 2 different systems. I feel like, you know, I've kind of showed that I can produce anywhere against anybody, in any matchup, any arena, whatever you throw at me. So with that being said, I mean, ultimately I feel like I'm the best, but also what comes with that is the guys I have around me. I mean, you could try to take me out the game, but can you take J-Man out the game? Can you take Neil out the game? Can you take Cody Saul out the game? So that's how I look at it.
But oh, my fault. Nah, but I think I'm the best receiver in this league because, you know, last year I didn't come in how I'm supposed to, you know what I'm saying? But this year I came in with a chip on my shoulder. You know, that second team award last year, that kind of gave me a bad taste, so, you know, I was kind of hungry this year. You know, you can't do nothing without your quarterback, so, you know, you bond with your quarterback, then hey, you're going to accomplish great things, you know what I'm saying? Setting a record for receiving yards and stuff like that, that's an award. Now we trying to get to the main goal, and that's the championship, you know what I'm saying? Devin, he is a great receiver, you know what I'm saying? He played with Bang, hey, top. My hat tipped to y'all, man. Y'all boys did some great things this year. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, you know, you can put me anywhere on the field and I'm gonna get the job done. It's as simple as that.
Next question.
This goes on the last question. Only one of those stats really means a win, and that's touchdowns. This question goes for Carolina's head coach. I see you mention to Coach Burley that he has the best team in the league. My question is, do you really have the confidence to play with the Sharks tomorrow?
That's a good question. I mean, we have all the confidence in the world. You know, at the same time, we respect our opponent. You know, we got beat twice by him, and you know, in our mindset, there were self-inflicted wounds. You know, we stopped the bleeding. You know, there was a chance of the game in our place. Gone up 2 scores, but we had a turnover instead. But it's opportunistic defense that was out there making plays. You know, our defense is, I think our defense is best in the league, you know, hands down. You know, we got to go against it every day in practice. And, you know, for us to have the opportunity to compete against one of the top offenses, you know, in the league, it's, you know, it's going to be a good matchup. But at the same time, 100% confident that we have a chance to hold that trophy. But at the same time, we were 100% confident against Orlando. We lost to them. And, you know, we even had Columbus. We even had New York that we lost 46-0. So, I hate me to say that. But no, we got all the confidence in the world. We respect our opponent. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game for the fans. No, I mean, I'd take these guys to war anyway. Anywhere, in any league, any place. You know, we're pretty confident about Saturday night.
Next question.
Coach Burley, I mean, the Sharks, as a franchise, y'all break you know, the team record for 14 wins in a row, and it's a great accomplishment, you know, getting to a #1 seed. But in the playoff format, it's win or go home. So how do you keep your team focused on the task at hand to win? bring another championship back home to Jacksonville?
Let me address that in a second. I want to talk about how we're made up, first of all. I think we have the best defense in the league, by none. Okay, that's a great defense over there. Hats off to them. 2 shutouts this season, bar none. Great performance, and we have our hands full 100%. But our defense is on the other side of a good offense. You know, so possessions are sped up at times, and they're out there defending 100%. So I got my hat on defense. That's a big reason why we're here, is our defense. Okay, we get a lot of opportunistic turnovers, we get short fields. They put us in great position on offense. So hats off to the defense. The big reason why we're here, 100, and it's allowed us to do some great things on offense, to score more possessions with short fields and things like that. So how do I keep them focused? You know, it's not so much me, it's the guy's character, 100%. If you start in camp with great character guys, okay, you don't have to really motivate them. We're competitive as hell. Okay, we go at each other in practice, 100%, iron sharpens iron, and you know, it's a tribute to them, their character. If I have to motivate them, you know, you hit a short end of the stick, you know. So I put them in situations that make them, you know, that brings out the competitiveness, and that's what keeps us going.
100%.
Any other questions?
This is for either one of the coaches now. The term expectation is often tossed around. When it comes to that championship game, what is that expectation?
One more time.
Now, the term expectation, it's often thrown around. When it comes to this championship game, what's that expectation?
Win. There's no excuses. That's been our motto all year, and that's what we've prided ourselves on. We've had injuries throughout the season, at fullback, quarterback, you know, major pieces that have been out. So, and we pride ourselves on no excuses. We're not here for anything else but to win a championship this season. I think, you know, if you look at the talent across the board, we've got 9 first-teamers, 2 second-teamers. The coaching staff is bar none. Okay, so, you know, that was our pride. We pride ourselves on here. I have no excuses. So, all the way through, we all believe that, you know, that's what it takes this year is to get a win, to sacrifice our goals.
Well, being that we're the underdog in this game, our expectations are we're just proud to be here. You know, we're happy that we're here. You know, we don't have a chance.
You just got to cover the spread, Coach. We got to cover the spread, Coach.
For squally's sake, we're just covering the spread.
Thank you, Coach.
But no, it's the win. You know, you expect every play to be made. You expect it 100%. You know, our expectations of a perfect game is 100-0. And I wouldn't have all these guys here if I didn't expect every single play to be made at every single play. And that's our expectations as a staff, as a team. You know, perfection is what you want. And like Coach Brody said, there's no excuses. This is the final game. There's nothing else to play for. You know, all the play sheets you can throw away. You don't need them anymore. This is the last game you need them for it. So, you know, I can only think back to the expectation is for your guys to be focused, dialed in, ready to go, in great condition, and you expect to win. You don't go in this thing thinking you're going to lose, or you're lucky to have a chance, or we may not. You know, it doesn't matter if we're 2-14 coming into a championship game. You know, that team that won it last year in some other league was 2-something and won the championship. So it doesn't matter what your record is. It's 0-0. We're trying to win one game. It's, you know, who can get the first team to get to 1-0, and that's what the goal is, and the expectations are to win.
Another question? I got one myself for both coaches. You know, it takes more than a head coach and a good football team to make it to a championship. It takes a coaching staff. Both of you are the returning head coaches for your respective teams, but you made coaching staff changes between both of your franchises from 2018 to 2019. Do you think that you've made improvements on your coaching staff, and has your coaching staff helped you this year compared to other seasons? Do you want to talk about your staff this year?
Absolutely. We have a lot of talent as a team from you know, player standpoint across the board, but it takes a special individual as a coach to be able to bring that talent out. Okay, it's definitely more than just X's and O's. It's also the person. It's the motivator. Okay, it's the relationship from coach to player that can get the best out of players. And we've got some great coaches in Lee Johnson and James Fuller that have brought the most out of their positions and have brought the unit together on both the offensive defensive line and defensive coordinating and have our guys playing at a very, very high level and have motivated the guys, and the guys have definitely bought into everything they've been preaching. As you can see, we became big strides, especially O-line wise, throughout the season from day 1 and 2 to now to get the protection we're getting, and then secondary. Obviously, we lost that game to New York and made a key adjustment with Seth, but the secondary came together really quickly. So I can't say enough about the coaching staff and what they've been able to do with the players.
Your staff coach?
Yeah, we made a little adjustment. Defensive coordinator, what Coach Rez has brought to the table for us is just intensity. He's not a bad guy to hang out with, be around. That's what I like to base our staff on. Guys I like to hang out with. Guys that are good men that lead by example on and off the field. They can take a guy and talk to him. Our strength coach is a guy that these guys can go to and talk about things that maybe they can't feel comfortable to talk about with other players. And so we've got men on this staff that's been through a lot. 2 ex-military guys. I got an assistant coach who flies in every game from Dallas on his own dime just to be here. He's a personal friend of mine. I love being around him. So these are guys that I'm going to spend 5-6 months with, to hang out with, and get to teach young men, whether it's how to win in tic-tac-toe, a football, a route, I don't care. I just enjoy the way these men have worked with our players this season and last season. It's more than football. It's the quality of life. Everybody can play football. Everybody has a chance to play. There's teams that can play, but when you have a staff like we have that go above and beyond just the game, I think that's a testament to our players, our team, our success. Back-to-back 2 years in a row to a championship game. It's on those guys. It ain't about a head coach. It's about your staff and your players. And the character of those men trickle down to the character of these men, and it makes for a great team. And so that's what I'm most proud of is the years we've coached and the staff that we've had. We've never had an incident outside of football make the news, and that's our #1 statistic. We appreciate that. So.
Another question?
All right, first question for Devin. It's a 2-part question. Devin, what is the biggest difference you see in this team this year compared to the 2017 championship team? And then Cody, what's the biggest difference you see between the team this year, the team that lost in the playoffs last year, to those guys?
All right, the difference between 17 and 19 would definitely be like the camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys here, it's a good group of guys. They're kind of cool, you know what I'm saying? We hang out together, we cook together, you know what I'm saying? We go to the movies together, we go bowling together, we go to Top Golf together, we go to eat together, we go to practice together, you know what I'm saying? So, everything we do is together, and we're all brothers. And just like any other family, we fight, you know what I'm saying? But we know it's gonna make us stronger, and nobody outside this family's gonna mess with us. So, you know what I'm saying? That's the biggest difference in my eyes.
Virtually the same, just the brotherhood that we have, built together. I looked at Keith Bowers at the beginning of the season, and when we had our first barbecue, and I was like, this is way different than last year. We didn't have anything like that. So just starting with that, just like Dev said, we do fight, but no one's gonna beat up my brother like me. That's something that Keith also said. So that's really it, just a camaraderie and brotherhood that we have built this year throughout the whole season.
There's another question up there.
My question is for Nick. Nick, you're going to be going up against one of the top quarterbacks in the league this game on Saturday. He's able to do it in the air and on the ground. So as you as a defensive lineman, how do you all get prepared for a guy that can stretch the play out and make a play with his legs as well?
I really just say a lot of film prep. Got a great QB over there, #1. Can do a lot of different things. If you ever watched any of the Cobra games, if you give him the opportunity to make a play, he's going to make a play. And somehow he always makes it. You know what I'm saying? He'd have like 3 dudes on him, and then he'll just get out and make the play happen. So biggest thing that we have to do is make sure that us in the front 5, that we're all on the same page. Because you know, if one person's out of position, then that could give him a position and a chance to go ahead and make a play, throw it to 4 or something. You know. But the biggest thing, like I said earlier, is just the front 5 staying together and doing their job.
Any questions? Here we go.
So, it's been said that playing in the Shark Tank is different, that us as fans have a different fan base than a lot of other teams. How does our noise, how are you going to adjust for our noise and our fan base, making it as hard as possible on you?
I just go out there and have fun. I'm gonna go out there and dance, do my thing. But other than that, I just gotta ignore y'all. Simple as that. But I mean, I just be tuned into the game. I mean, the energy y'all give me, I soak it in and use it against them. I mean, so however y'all come at me, just match your intensity and keep moving.
So Coach Beck got an opportunity to host the championship last year with his crowd, and I know when we went to the playoff game, we struggled with the energy in Carolina. Coach Burley, do you think having the home field advantage in a championship game of this magnitude really matters, or is it all just about film and practice?
I think it matters for us in support. I don't think Cobras are a team that's going to be bothered by that. I think they're a great team with a great staff that we're prepared, but I think it feeds us in our energy. Of course, we like as players, you know, we're very much emotional driven players, and we like to feed it to the crowd and be at home. So for us, yeah, we like it, but I don't think it'll bother Carolina.
Any other questions?
And my question's for Bill Vavo. Vavo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Pronounce my last name right, bro.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I just want to say you had a great season. Basically, the Sharks have a really strong offensive line. Does this matchup excite you?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and same with our top 5 guys on our side. Be ready.
My question's for Michael Green. Mike, you know, you're also going to have a tough matchup going up against this receiving core. What have you, as the defensive backs, been kind of telling each other to get prepared for such a tough matchup as well?
Man, just play football. Man, shut the hell up. At the end of the day, we've been playing this game since we was little kids. I mean, it's another day to play football and enjoy it. It's not make it more than what we should be. Play football.
Any more questions? I got one more for each coach before we kind of close this thing out and open it up to everyone. Just looking at both teams, it's been really fun to follow both teams this season. Both teams have had a lot of success. You're looking at the 2 best teams in the NAL in 2019. If you could define your team's season this year, forget postseason, forget the championship right now, just focus on your team from week 1 to the last regular season game. What, if you could come up with one word or one phrase for your team, what would that be?
Yup.
I'd also like to thank the Lexington Hotel and Conference Center for having us today. It's been a pleasure being here. We're also going to have the award banquet.
The Caesar salad fire.
Sorry for putting you on the clock.
Slytherin.
And collectively, our word is 100.
100%, baby.
100%.
Slytherin. Say Slytherin. we slimy.
Can't say the first part, but we ball.
Coach, one more thing.
Just an all-in-all, I think it's going to be a great game. I think that I don't want to be misconstrued. The Carolina Cobras are the defending champions, and our team knows that, and we're just focused to try to dethrone them because they are the champs, and they're coming in here defending the crown. Until we win, they're the champs, and we respect that.
Got off that. At the end of the day, what I like about this two teams playing is the talent level on both these teams, from the 26th man to the first man. You guys can play in any league. You know, you guys chose to play in this league with us, and Coach Burley and I are grateful for that. You guys don't make a lot of money in this league, and the sweat, the blood, everything you guys put in, the work ethic for the Sharks and the Cobras, from Coach Burley and I, Coach Fuller, Coach Rez and I, we thank you guys. Because without you guys, the effort you guys have put in on both sides of the teams, we wouldn't be here. Neither one of us would be here. And it's a testament to your guys' work ethic as men, as character, as players, as professional athletes, and as your goal is to get back to the next level. You know, that window of opportunity is still there for some of you. Some of it's not. But at the same time, you're playing because you love the game, and we appreciate that as coaches. And we want to say thank you to you players and for being part of this. So thank you.
Break out to open it up to the media for all the players that are here. Anyone that wants to ask or interview any of the players or coaches that are here for both teams. I want to thank everybody for coming. Feel free to take a picture with the trophy again. We have an award banquet that'll be tonight. Doors open at 5:30. Should be a lot of fun. I want to thank everybody again for coming, and thank you again seriously to the Lexington for having us. It's a wonderful hotel here in Jacksonville. It's a pleasure to be able to host this here, so I want to thank them. So, all right, thank you guys.